Today we're going to start our radial drill press project. First thing we need to do is identify on the print the size of material, which is 6 by 2 by ½ inch thick. And then we're going to lay this out just like we laid out our NIMS layout project. We have to put all of the dimensions for the counterboard and the tapped holes on the print. When we're done, we're going to have 2 rows of counterboard prints, 2 rows of counterboard holes, 1 row of tapped holes. When we do the initial setup, what we want to do is take our part. Now my part's scaled down from what yours is, but I've laid it out, I've center punched where all the hole locations are going to go, and I've gotten some parallels for in my vise. The parallels are going to keep the part nice and flat and even in the vise. I want my part to be sticking up above the vise a little wee bit. I don't want it to be sticking up real high so that I'm only holding on the bottom end of it. I want to be holding on the majority of the part, but I do want the top of it to be sticking up above my vise. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to tighten it down. When I have it tightened in my vise, you can see my parallels are still loose here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dead blow hammer and I'm just going to tap this a couple times so that it tightens up my parallels so that I know I have the same amount of pressure on both sides. My part is sitting flat. Alright, that gets us into the next step, which is going to be center drilling. We're going to take our center drill and we're going to put in the chuck, and I'm going to tighten this down with my chuck key, and I have to adjust my speeds and feeds, my RPM. Now the RPM that we're going to use for center drilling is going to be about 1020 RPMs. So to change that, I use my gearbox selector. I'm going to put this in the high range, and then I'm going to turn it to the middle, and that's going to run at 1020 RPMs. Okay? Now I can move my head around. I have my locks unlocked, so this will move freely. I'm going to make sure that my release lever is back, and I'm going to turn the machine on. When I turn it on, it's running now at 1000 RPMs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to line it up over the hole or over the center punch mark, and when I bring my head down, the center punch mark will help line up my center drill. So once I get this lined up, I'm going to come down and I'm going to just put light pressure on it until I have a center drilled hole. You can see how the angle on there, that's going to help my drill whenever I go to drill it. So I'm going to do the same thing for all of these holes on here. Just going to come down, put light pressure on it, allow my drill to cut. We don't want to force it. We want to allow the center drill to do the cutting. Use a brush to wipe your chips away. And you're going to continue to do this for the rest of the holes on your part.